So now I've got my paint choices picked out. I've got some really thick paints, some thin paints, some mixing paints, a little bit of everything because I wanted to go over a few of the different methods that I've learned along the way that have helped me save paint, save money, because I don't like to waste. Like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, I've wasted a ton of paint and I would like to not do that anymore. So anyway, I'm always going to start by putting on some gloves. I'm getting really sick and tired of cleaning paint out from underneath my fingernails, so I'm just not going to do that anymore. And I'm going to put up with putting on gloves all the time. Hopefully I don't develop a latex allergy, but if I do, we'll just switch over to vinyl. Not a big deal. I'm also a nurse, so I know the different options out there. So I use my biggest cup for the colors that I'm going to use a lot of. I use a lot of black, I use a lot of white. So my largest cup's going to always have my black and white in it. And I'm going to start by shaking up my Floetrol. This is a 16-ounce cup, so I'm going to put in about 8 ounces of Floetrol to 8 ounces of this one's Artist Loft Flow Acrylic. It's a thicker paint, so with the thicker paints I go 1-to-1 ratio with the Floetrol paint. So I'll just fill that up. Half and half. I use this little stocking to catch the schmutz, or whatever you want to call it, that dries up in the Floetrol. Sometimes you'll get these long little, I don't know what they're called. Tell me what they're called, because I don't know what they're called. Just little pieces of dried up Floetrol in there, and it can ruin a painting. It's happened before, so I don't want to do that anymore. I learned from another artist on a different video to do this, and it's been working great. So, try that. When you're getting low on your paint to the bottom, but you don't want to waste what's still in the bottle, I usually let my paint bottle sit on its side for a while, hours and hours, maybe a day or two, and let all the paint drip down to the bottom of the bottle. I'll empty out as much as I can. Do that. I'm still able to get some paint to come out. You can also tip your bottles upside down, but then it ends up in the cap. Either way, it's fine. Then I'll take some Floetrol or water, depending on what you're painting. I don't like to use water unless I know I'm trying to do a painting that I want a lot of cells and such and some chemical reactions. So I'll just pour some Floetrol into my paint bottle. Put the cap on it. Give it a shake. Try to get some more paint out of the bottle. And I didn't put that much Floetrol in, so I'm estimating it's still a pretty good 1-to-1 ratio from paint to Floetrol. If I start adding more Floetrol to get the paint out, I'll just compensate by adding more paint to the mixture. Waste not. I can't stand throwing away bottles of paint knowing that I can probably still get at least a half an ounce to an ounce out of it, especially these big bottles. Smaller bottles are a lot easier. You empty these little ones out, add a little Floetrol in there, shake it up, and I do that about 2 times, and I get most of the paint out. So we'll do this about 2 times. This reminds me of that one song. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty. I know I'm a little cheesy and funny sometimes. But aren't all artists? We're just creative people. Nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah. Able to get a lot out of this bottle still. I'm glad I saved it. And I do have a cup of distilled water right here. So I'll just throw some water in there. And get just a little bit more paint out of the bottle. This is, again, a thicker paint, so there's actually a lot more left in this bottle than you think. It's super concentrated. I'm just going to show you what I see in my cup. You can see it as well. There are lots of bubbles in here. And if you don't want these popping up in your paint, let your paint sit for a while and let all these bubbles come to the surface. And you can throw a heat gun over the top. And that will help extinguish all the bubbles. Just like this. Ta-da! More bubbles. And what's that? And now I can start to see through the bottle. So I've pretty much gotten most of the paint out. And now I can recycle it. I'll wash it a little bit more.